night lay waste to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living. But we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever. I can't believe myself. I never thought that this would be our end, but it's nothing new. And my lover's honesty, I could push it back down if I have to. If you want me to, 'cause we can run. So tell me now, what's left to lose if we run? If we run. If we run. Forever. Seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the hype is here. I am obviously not yelling though because I am in my apartment. I'm here with none other than Graf the Giraffe, and it is the daily double dosage of OU COD. Everybody, I want to start this tradition. OU!
OU! I'm not sure if I meant to say that.
Yeah, almost. It was, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, goodness. Oh yeah! I thought that was more of the... I thought that was more of the Kool-Aid Man. So that's a little confusing for me. You know, if you did that, then then I would have got it. But we're here to watch some Call of Duty, have an incredible matchup. We have Ohio University going up against Butler, and kind of these two teams off to some shaky starts. Some have rebounded, some haven't. As of right now, Butler, they're coming off of a week where they had two very difficult losses, one against Hoosier State and the other, I believe it was against Northwood White. So they are looking to have a rebound here. And then, of course, Ohio University coming off of a high, coming away with 2 victories, or at least 1.
Yeah. Because last week, one of the matches was CXP League, so there was a little bit of a mishap there on my end. But again, I feel like you mentioned it, both teams have had the mishaps, and it's mainly been to like similar teams. Like I know Butler last week played Buckeyes. They lost 3-0. OU played Buckeyes a couple weeks ago. They lost 3-0 or 3-1. So I felt like they've had a little bit of the harder strength of schedule early on. Yep. And I think that's kind of built something in them because last week OU looked really good on red card, I will say.
Yeah, they absolutely did. Their ARs were hot, and then in the sub, so he can get hot. And then the player that we're going to be looking at is going to be Clutch JD. It is his birthday today, so I believe he's turning 22 if I remember correctly at midnight, whatever the case may be. So I'm looking for that guy to make some special plays.
So am I, but as you get a look at the maps and modes, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, as I stated before, they look good on red card. Well, red card is map 1. We're about to get into it in a little bit, but we have a Hossi Surge Protocol control, and if we go to the distance, it's Skyline map 4 and Proto map 5. Graf, I mean, it seems to be like the map pool for OU is shaping up little by little each week, because I know last week, we got a taster of what they look like on these maps.
Yeah, we absolutely did, and red card is one that they obviously feel comfortable with. They've played it a few times now, and then coming in this week with it being that opening map, I think this is a great start for them just to get off to the races. But on the other side, we really haven't talked about the side of Butler, as you have Crasher, Donkey, CMC, and then Mad Dog. And I know I'm looking at Mad Dog to be the guy who's really going to be the route person and potentially make those key plays.
And that's what you need to do on red card, especially if you're trying to flip spawns. But as we get into the action, battle at the hedges, as some may say, it's about to go down. That's what you need to do to control P2, and OU have done just that. Number 8, Clutch JD, birthday boy in the house. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find something there, but tracking down these kills, isn't able to find anything. So a little bit of some spawn outs going on, and now if you're OU, number 6 has to make a big play.
Yeah, and Broby, of course, this is what he is called upon to do, and guess what? He delivers 1 kill, and then there's 1 more he has to deal with. It's against Mad Dog, and what a big double. Mad Dog basically secures the spawns, but that will be Hazzy thinking 1 step ahead and maybe trying to hop on into that P2 area. But it's going to be Donkey, who unfortunately gets a drop shot, throw back to the MW3 days. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I know we hinted at how well this OU team looked last week. I did really like how they played on such an open map. I know the first couple weeks we saw them play on tighter, closer maps like Skyline, and sometimes there was the Protocol, and we saw how well they slayed out. But again, last week was something of I'm at a loss of words. I went blank there for a minute. But it was great to see them play a different map in a different style. So I'm excited to see that come back into this week.
Yeah, and the one thing that they probably need to work on most is their search and destroy. I think their kind of map pool is a little bit narrow at the moment, so they're trying to expand that out here going into the Hacienda map 2. But Mad Dog, this guy has been shooting 7 and 5. No time in the hill, but he's the one who's putting the pressure on the side of Ohio. So far, his teammates just aren't quite able to follow up. CMC having a rough go of it, sitting 1 and 5. Crasher 2 and 6 is the kill feed. It will light up green, and Ohio, they're putting themselves in a great position here for the P3.
Yeah, this is huge. Broby hitting a team flank. Broby with a nice two-piece. That's what you love to see. I was going to say, Butler almost played that to perfection. They had a man anchoring as far left as possible. Somehow, Broby's able to sneak behind, though. And again, it's just that's what this team stems behind. The ability that Broby can bring on the massive two-piece to break a hill all by himself, allow his teammates to regain, and then ultimately, it's just trade system from there. I really like what OU has built around him. And funny enough, he is a little bit of an or he has a challengers team, so he's up there. He's up there, Graf.
Yeah, he's starting to feel himself, but as right as we were hyping him up, he does get shut down. So the final 10, though, for Butler, that's all they're getting are the scraps. They aren't able to pick up any significant chunk of time. But it was really as he was holding it down towards that outer lane, towards the parking garage, as he sits at 11 and 7, leading the lobby, or at least second in the lobby, too. Mad Dog, again, it was just starting to tear it up. But he puts himself in prime position here, and he's looking for the second. Guess what? He's going to guarantee it against the Donkey Kong, as Hazzy, he is going to start roaming towards the middle of the map, and that's kind of what you need to do on a hill-like stage. You need to be able to control the middle and make sure that nobody's getting shot from the side.
Yeah, and they've done that just well. And another thing about this OU team is I feel like that's something they do in particular is reading spawns perfectly. I feel like they do a good job of spacing out everybody, especially when it comes to the stage hill. Split spawns are going to come in. You know, people are going to be spawning on every side of the map, so it tends to get a little bit chaotic. But no, OU last week, they did a great job of reading it. They posted up ARs on each side in the middle right here. And again, the captain of this team, Hazzy himself, he is a straight laser beam. Honestly, he has better aim than Stormtroopers, I shall say.
Well, Stormtroopers, once they get LASIK, they can shoot mighty straight, because I'm not sure if their eyes were all that good to begin with, especially with that helmet on. But, of course, Hazzy not dealing with any optical illusions. But CMC having a little bit of a difficult go. We've said his name a few times, sitting at 3 and 12. And, oh, no, Broby with an assassination gets the hipfire kill on top of it. This is almost insult to injury. But Butler, they have two players who are really putting their heart and soul into it. But it's Crasher and CMC that need to start to step it up here come the second set.
Yeah, because I mean, COD is a 4-man team game, and right now it cannot just be one person. I know one person does make a big difference, but if everybody else is lacking, and I'm not saying everybody, but if you have 2 people out of the 4, you know, there's half production there, so you ain't getting much. But CMC, Donkey, whichever one it is, Codcaster settings broken, able to find a nice 2-piece there, and he's not able to find any time, so they're gonna have to rotate to this first hill again. We're gonna be seeing it for a second time. His Donkey still hitting a route towards this hedge area. He wants to make sure it is one, because that is an area that they were dominated in the first set of rotations here,
Yeah, they absolutely were, but I want to point out, Duffy only has 16 engagements and over 2 minutes in the hill. That just shows his teammates are creating this great area of defense, this perimeter that nobody from the side of Butler has been able to break on into. Mad Dog tries to fly on in through the ticket. Unfortunately, he was having a falsified document there as he tried to check in. But Duffy, he is sitting in a great position there to shut down one player, Mad Dog, once again. And it is just all the side of Ohio University right now.
Yeah, and this is where we start to see them heat up in the kitchen. Like, it seems like after the first 2 hills, they just start slaying and finding each kill more and more, and it's 4 dead after 4 dead. They really put you in the blender, and honestly, that's what you want to see from this team. I feel like that's been their pride. That's been something that they've relied on a lot, so it's something we're expecting, as now we're heading into P2, which again is another hill that's dominated by you in the rotation side of things. And ultimately, it's just been really hard for Butler to find anything. Mad Dog, though, kind of keeping things in the mix of a blender with a nice 2-piece.
Yeah, unfortunately, they are going to be having the deep spawns out, so the close ones will be for Ohio. The issue is, if you get put into the spawn trap, it can be difficult to break out. But guess what? As soon as I say that, that is all 4 players dead from the side of Butler as they get shut down. Duffy only on his 21st engagement. He is looking mighty fine still with 2 minutes in the hill, and now it's his turn to end up grabbing the scrap.
Yeah, and it's not almost a 200-point club as we saw OU do last week, but they are dang well close to it. Duffy winning a gunfight he wasn't even having the first shot at. And now with 6 seconds left, OU rotating again. They have the middle of the map under control. That's what you love to see. And look at this. All lanes are covered. Hazy making sure everything is picked up, checking them twice. Donkey got the better of him. So it is a 3v2 rotation, 3v2 kind of rotational battle here for the side of Butler. If they win it, it's a nice break.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. CMC needs to win that gunfight, just not quite able to do so, but it's going to be a few more players in green that denied. There is one player that is lurking, but he gets caught out. Maybe trying to make the 200 IQ. Unfortunately, when the rest of your teammates die, everybody's just kind of looking around in circles, making sure the flank isn't being covered, but still, it is just a grueling battle here. Finally, a double kill from Mad Dog. He really has been the shining light, and honestly, Donkey has been as well with 22 and 18.
Yeah, but again, it's just so hard to find much when it's 4 dead, OU. You have 4 Slayers on one side, 2 on the other. I will say P3 has gone exceptionally well for them. I feel like this is a hill that Butler has dominated in a sense, at least keeping it into their control. But again, they're always on the back end. They're always getting those backside spawns with 5 seconds left at old. They're late to the rotation. They're having to fight through 2 waves of OU members before they can even break the hill. Donkey with a nice one through the middle of the map. But again, it just doesn't matter. No production on the front side. OU winning their gunfights. It's clean, solid time. It's all green.
Yeah, and Donkey looks like he's throwing barrels at Mario as he shoots down upon the players of Ohio, but it doesn't matter in the long run. It's a 250 to 65 scoreline. Last week, it was 250 to 83 on this exact map for Ohio, so they continue to impress. They continue to get better, and so come next week or potentially come next series, I think you feel confident on the red card. Let's start throwing some different maps in the rotation.
Oh yeah, it's a solid lock, and again, it's very. For me, it's very nice to see this because, again, we've seen OU the first couple weeks. They came out sub-heavy on a lot of those maps. They were able to slay. Now, don't get me wrong. Adjustments have been made. You know, buffs and nerfs have been come into play. But, you know, I think there was like 4 ARs on this map, everybody running one, and they were exceptional at all of them. I mean, the only player that went negative was Duffy. But, again, he didn't have any engagements. That man was a super soaker to the T.
He absolutely was, but you got to be looking back right now at Butler. You got to look to your IGL and say, hey, guys, let's get it together. Hey, wash away the sins of that map 1. Let's hop on in fresh to the Hacienda search, which has kind of been the kryptonite or potentially what has been the Achilles heel of Ohio University come these past, few weeks or just the start of this season. And so I'm looking at them to really capitalize upon their first bloods because they've almost played from a man down situation quite a few times. So I think you got to clean up, not get caught out, and just take your man advantages. And sometimes taking the route isn't always the best option. Sticking with your team, getting that bomb plant, and just having a good defensive setup, I think is really going to allow one of these teams to have that success.
Oh, 100%. I was just about to hit that. You hit the nail right on the head. Is like, hey, we've talked about how Hacienda can be such an open map, right? And we've talked about how, a lot of the times this is a subs playground to get lost and then make the big play. But there's also the flip side of Hasi. There's the 4v4 site retakes, the 4v4 site attacks, the ability to trade. And I feel like that's something that OU kind of needs. I mean, you said it as well, it needs to work on because again, when they get spread too thin, that first blood really does affect them, and then they're playing on the back pedal. It's a 3v2 situation to where it's just too much for their superstars to handle.
Yeah, and I mean, from at least the matches I've casted, they've actually won every single first blood that they've done. Yes. They don't have any deficiency, I guess, when it comes to that. But when they end up getting blooded, they haven't been able to find that success with that man down disadvantage. So the key to them, continuing those first bloods. But on the other side, you and I haven't really seen a whole lot of Butler. They're sitting at the number 12 seed overall. They're 3-3. They have 11-7 map record. They came off of a difficult loss against Hoosier, and then of course a team that is right below them in Northwood White. So their competition has probably been right around their level. So having those difficult losses coming into this one, hopefully you win over your VOD and you corrected those mistakes.
Yeah, it's just going to be tough for both sides. But, ladies and gentlemen, as you get a look at the maps and modes, Hossi, map 2, I am interested to see how Protocol will go because with the updated version of that B control site graph, it's going to be interesting to see how teams play it.
Yeah, and the B site, I believe that is going to be the one towards the rock. There's been so many little angles that I think have annoyed a lot of the players either trying to defuse the bomb or plant the bomb. If you're towards that middle hallway in that single door, if you just literally crawl into position and you could probably just shoot the finger, the toe, whatever you can to get that guy off the bomb, whether it's defusing or planting, like I said. But we have seen some critical tactical usage, right? You throw your days, you throw your stuns just to give you any sort of advantage. And if they do not have any trophies, it's almost done and dusted. You're going to find damage, a lot of it, or at least a kill. And so I think if you're the attacking round, you got to be thinking of that A site because it's a little bit more open and there's a little bit more, I guess, error. If you throw a nade too long or too wide, it's a tad bit more forgiving because it doesn't bounce off the walls and immediately back into your lap.
Yeah, but I'm excited nonetheless. This map has become one of my favorites to cast alongside with you. Graph, the potential is there. The playbook is deep, and that is another thing that we talk about big in S&D. How deep can you go, and how consistent can you go with those plays? Unfortunately, you do not want to be like the Chiefs who lost last night, which I am so happy they lost.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. Clearly a little bit deeper playbook, hopefully, than the Chiefs, like you said. But I'm really looking at one of these players to step up from the side of Butler. And in particular, it's Crasher 202. I believe he finished with single-digit kills in that hard point. So when it comes to this search, just get this guy going. Get him a few kills under his belt and kind of allow that confidence to exude through his gameplay.
Yep, well, Duffy, first blood. Able to find a huge. Opens up the B-bomb site. And I like this out of OU. First round, it's a 2v2 man game. But fast flank coming in out of the side of the Butler University. Can they find something here? Number 8 and number 7, Mad Dog, working this to a T. Throwing shoulders left and right. Duffy able to find another one. Man's locking down this site by himself.
Yeah, and Crasher, I'm not sure if he was running a sub or an AR, because if he was running that AR and then Mad Dog baited him, I feel like that was a little insult to injury, but puts Mad Dog in potential here, and now it's a 2v2, Mad Dog with the double, and now you are in a 1v2 situation, but you get the player, and yep, you don't need to challenge, and guess what, he only needs to check at 7.5, and he's going to do it. Might not win the gunfight, but it secures the round.
Huge place. And that's what you mentioned right there. That's what you mentioned. Just the way you plant this at B on Hossi S&D, it is so hard when in that post-plant situation to get the defuse. Because if you're an A, like we just saw right there, if you're an AR, you can, in a 1v1 situation, all you have to do is just run with your tail tucked between your legs and check bomb every 7.5. So as an attacker, it's just living in your head. It's so hard to win the gunfight.
And being icy in those 1v1s too, it's something that I don't think a lot of teams, I wish you could have the stat for the college cotton to be like, hey, how did they have, or how many icy moments did they have? Kind of like how Dashy does for Optic Texas. He just always clutches up when you need him, and it's just trusting yourself and understanding the players. But so far, what I'm understanding is all the first bloods of Ohio, the Bobcats, they have just simply been feasting on the side of Butler.
Yeah, and they collapsed on that team so fast. I love, like, OU right there. They just flew through that. They saw nothing B. They were like, we're going to hit this flank faster. Top secret was their control. Butler, I don't know what the play call was there. I mean, obviously it was the hit A, but, I mean, if you didn't see anything with the first 5 seconds, maybe get the bomb down a little quicker, Graph?
Yeah, I mean, when you go 2 down right away, it takes all the map positioning, and you're essentially trying to wait for a mistake, and simply Ohio, they're just not doing that right now. And the only thing I think that could really shoot Ohio is themselves, right? Because they sometimes get a little bit too overconfident. They try to take some overzealous challenges, and right now, Donkey is the guy you probably don't want to challenge with the AR, as he ended up finding some crucial picks on that retake towards B. But look at how fast Butler is. They have already moved across, and have completely taken over the A site. Now they're moving through the middle of the map, but they're just so decisive with their play calls.
All right, we'll see what happens. Awkward off angle for the side of Duffy. They played that really weird because a lot of the times you see those subs sit in the other corners, but it is the birthday boy himself. Clutch JD just roaming around the map. He's wishing Hacienda was his dream home. Right now, 18 seconds left. He's having fun. Does he know Donkey went for a swim?
I mean, donkeys can swim. An animal you don't think that would be good at it, but they are deceptively good swimmers. And so far, he does even one pull-up and finds a kill. But yeah, only a few seconds. He's looking up, hoping that a freebie will fall into his lap. And guess what? It's another Michael Phelps in the water, and he's gonna strangle him into the depths.
Pulls him back down. As well, he wasn't on a streak or anything like that, but still, Donkey playing his life for it, just isn't able to come away with anything. And again, Clutch JD just having his way right now. I know they have a little bit of a side bet. I think it's every map win is a shot, and every little party in hostage scenario is another add-on shot. So we'll see how he's feeling after map 3.
All I know is we do not want to go to listenings. That's what I'm going to say, because who knows how well he's able to hold the liquor, but 22 years old. Yes, this man is legal and able to drink. We would not condone underage drinking whatsoever. But so far, the kills, once again, it has just been OU with the openings. 6 and 1 for Clutch. He's looking for another, but it's CMC and Donkey. CMC was the one who at least found a pick, and that was onto Hazzy, but unfortunately, it's Clutch who finds Donkey all the way in the back. CMC still trying to make a name for himself out there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Would love to see these two meet up and play these 1v1s, or play this 1v2. So my number 6 key is broken. Trying to go to him. There we go, CMC. Has been living around this bottom office area. OU kind of just spread here for a minute. I was a little bit worried because that is what we saw from them in Hasi, especially against OU and UC. When they get a little thin in those 3v2 situations, that's when they have a tendency to fall apart. But they're cleaning it up so well. Both players controlling top office. As now the bomb checks in. Number 3. Able to find it.
Yeah, it's too easy, and that's 8 in a row. He's going to get the defuse as well. That should be the cruise on top of it. So 8 streak for the man whose birthday is today, Clutch. Just continuing to dominate. And I like the decisive play call from Butler. Like, they're sticking together, but it kind of feels like their baiting is a little strange. Like, they'll throw a shoulder, but then 1 or 2 guys will just kind of run out willy-nilly, and no ARs with their sights up to get those trades. So clearly their teamwork has a little bit to be workshopped on, but I think they just need Donkey right there with them, overlooking, allow those submachine guns to get pushed up, because we saw what Mag Dog can do.
Oh, 100%. That is the guy that can slay out. And again, Donkey able to find first blood for Butler themselves. They have met OU at their head. It was a 4v4 man push towards this B site. And again, with that first blood, OU playing carefully. They're not going to try and contest it. They're going to work the middle of the map. Maybe wait for a player to lurk around here. Look at this. Mad Dog getting very aggressive here. Trade comes through. Hellstorm did come into use. I don't think Clutch was able to find anything, but he found a lurking member. 2v2 now. Has he through the middle?
Oh, and he got information on one. He should be able to... Oh, he's not going to check... Oh, he will check the corner. Oh, Crasher! My goodness! Bears down on the player of Hazzy. Made him look silly. Hazzy had him dead to rights, but that is the Jackal for you, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, hey, they don't follow GAs or nothing, but Clutch AD running through the maps, able to find Crasher. Does he know the read is here? He's going to fly over this balcony. Donkey playing this patient as ever. He was able to get the last laugh in Shrek, so he got it right there as well.
Yep, donkeys do have layers, as they say, and guess what? He peeled one off right of Clutch as he was sitting at 10 kills in a row. But Butler, a little good bounce back there, and you even saw a little extra body shots. I don't know how I feel about that, sitting down 4-1, but in that guy's defense, I would do the same thing. I don't care if I am, I've told you this before, of course. If I am 1-17 and I find that 1 kill on you, I'm unloading the entire clip, because guess what? You are going to fear me if you are going to be the guy who dies from 1-17.
That is true. We'll see what Donkey responds with. Again, he's won the AR battle. Top balcony. He's able to find information on Hazzy, but look at number 3 again. Clutch JD. Fast flank. He's pushing T, and that is what OU loves to do. They get caught down there. Broby there on the B site, though. Finds even more information. I hear an RCXD in the whirring in the background, though.
Man, CMC, I think he kind of realizes that there is somebody who's in that RCXD, so he might try to go hunting for this one player in Duffy, but they're waiting for it to explode. Unfortunately, I don't have the sound cues, but yeah, CMC, he's going hunting, and oh my goodness, barely gets the kill, but Hazzy follows up with a double. So quickly into the doses.
Yeah, but I like how OU is going to play this. They're going to play the buddy system. They're going to try and flush out this player where CMC is. They know he's back here. CMC with the timing, though, isn't able to find much. Bomb is down. If you're Donkey, you did a bomb check. He's going to hit a long route here, though. So if you're OU, you have time. Well, they're not going to hop it here, Graph. This could work out for Donkey. Isn't able to find one. Able to find the kill on the carrier. Found the just play time here, Donkey. Play time.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do. Oh my god! Yeah, you don't need to check it even that early. I mean, that was a little scary moment. But yeah, he finds the kill anyways. Donkey, my goodness! I think he follows up with 2 kills from the last round, 3 in this one, and he found the first blood on top of it all. So this man keeping it alive for the side of Butler.
He's doing everything. Main AR, putting the team on his back. But again, I feel like it's just, we talked about it, Butler and how they play some situations together. I feel like his teamwork still needs to be in shape, because as well as Donkey has been like finding these first bloods, they just haven't found much success. I mean, they have put 2 rounds back together now, so we'll see if they can go from there.
And we were kind of saying this at Ohio, maybe a little bit too much confidence when they started up here for 4-0, but Donkey opening up that door, and he's going to have that RCXD, and what site is he going to decide to use it on, as he is really realistically trying to wait for somebody on this A, and he actually gets a spot, and Clutch, does he? Nope, it will get exploded by Duffy, but I thought Clutch was about to get trapped down.
Yeah. I think Donkey just may have exited that, but looks like these arrows from the side of Butler are going to try and work this top secret area. Trades come through. Perfect out of them. 3v3. 20 seconds left, though. A lot of clock has chewed because they wanted that RCXD to hit. So you're now up against the pressure. 14 seconds left. Broby with a nice kill. Plus JD and Crasher. All you have to do is try and make a play on the bomb. Unfortunately, everybody lying in wait from the side of OU.
Yeah, and I think that was a little bit too much of a patient play from Donkey. I think he was expecting somebody to kind of take a deep wrap, but once you found a kill, just take over that bomb site. You have the numbers, and just try to force their hand and force them to have to try to take the player off of bomb and just watch over them. But I think a little bit too much of hesitation there allowed Ohio to kind of seal that round, but a quick bomb plant, I love it. You take over the bomb site, make sure you put the pressure on the other team.
100%. Post-plant situations have been well for OU. Looks like it's a mid-map hit here. Duffy able to find first blood. Duffy able to find 2, ripping him off the head. He's Crasher running with his tail between his legs. Isn't able to find much. CMC goes down, and that is map 2 for you, OU. 2 rounds? What?
I mean, that's kind of the OU special right there. I've seen a lot of 6 and 2s coming out of them, but Clutch JD, 13 and 3. Once again, this man just continues to impress, and maybe it's the birthday special, you could say, because the man is just feeling himself. We know that it is there, but we really haven't seen this type of elevated gameplay. So I'm glad he is feeling confident, and maybe that is feeling a little bit of a looseness after a few drinks.
Oh yeah, and especially from the side of Clutch, like we see a lot of Broby. There's a lot of love for the man. He's popped off in their previous S&D matches. Hazzy has been a good one, but it's a nice change of place to see Duffy and Clutch AD kind of be those kill leaders. They're the one driving the kill feed and doing everything for them right now. So again, this is an OU team that has superstars on all cylinders. They can pop off whenever they want. I feel like it's just whenever all 4 are popping off, this is a team that can go against Northwood Blue, OSU Buckeyes, Cincinnati, which are all teams that they are ahead of them. So they got a tough road to climb.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And yeah, they're sitting in 6. So this match, if they end up winning the map 3, puts them at 5-2 with a 13-6 overall map record. And their only losses was to Cincinnati and was to the Buckeyes in essentially the second week. So right away, you kind of get put up against 2 monsters there to begin with. Like Buckeyes and Cincinnati are both ranked teams overall in the College COD League. So I mean, right away, I think they ended up getting in a 3-1, but all their maps were relatively close. So I think they kind of knew what they had to do to step up their game. And I think come playoff time, this is going to be, an underdog type story. And I can't wait to see what they can do.
I'm excited for it. You're excited for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Map 3, Protocol Control, going to be brought to you shortly. Stay tuned. Quick break.
Just like your mind, like the sun gives into the moon, into the night. Time continues marching, it slowly crawls. With each new one starting, I recall. You gave into my life, just like another season. Not so long, just a time, just like come my way this season. Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget. But you're breaking down my walls again, just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love when I go out. You gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the series as it is Ohio University sitting 2-0 up against the side of Butler. I'm here with Corpse. I mean, this series, it's kind of gone the way that we expected it, but, I mean, Ohio, it just feels like they just continue to dominate more and more the longer the series goes on.
Yeah, it's almost like spider web or what is the snake? The hit me with it. What's the snake? The boa constrictor. You know, the tighter you move, the more you move, the tighter they squeeze. So ultimately, I feel like that's another strength to this OU team is again, once they start having their way, once they start to get going in map 1, it's just almost like over for you.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that way at times, but it just feels like there's a few members from Butler that have been underperforming. I mean, Crasher really has been the one that we've had the eye on. CMC did not have a bad search and destroy. In fact, he found quite a few critical kills, but it's Crasher. This is the guy that you're looking at to potentially make plays. But so far, Ohio, they find themselves already here towards the B site, putting the pressure on, and yeah, oh my goodness. Clutch gets back down, but he goes in for the reach out and simply was not ready for that gunfight. But already he's trying to put out the pressure. Oh my goodness. The snap, crackle, and pop. Call this man a Rice Krispie.
Now, honestly, man, I mean, he looks like a Rice Krispie. I'm joking. I don't really know what he looks like. But CMC, the man we talked about that needs a bounce back map, or how to bounce back one in S&D, isn't able to find much there. Has he with a nice turn on, and now if you're OU, A site is done. Flood the gates. Broby trying to be that entry sub. That's a nice free dead from Butler though. First time we've seen that.
And that's exactly what you need. Maybe a little bit of a kickstart to this, but Donkey is playing this one patient. I love this out of him, and oh, that's just Call of Duty time in the thesis. Let's start writing it, Corpse. We've been talking about it. A lot of people have, but the kill feed starts to light up a little bit from the side of a Butler, but Duffy just got shooting his weapon on into the crate, and guess what? They're going to make him pay. He says that was some fragile equipment there, and unfortunately, you cannot be doing that to whatever is inside, so Butler, they do shut him down here, but a little bit more pressure still being felt over towards their spawn. And oh my goodness, you just see that man flying off the top ropes. It's Clutch. He's going in. He wants a kill. He at least wants to assassinate somebody. And can he find him? And he's the one player sitting behind it. Oh, he does. He has the assassination. And oh no, my goodness, it is disrespectful. He's even getting the capture at the same time. That is just salt to the wound.
Unsanitary too. If you're gonna do it somewhere, do it somewhere nice. As now he tried to live in the backside of spawn, isn't able to do that. Butler though has maintained it, and it's been CMC holding things down top trips. He's done a good job with this AR in here.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those moments where you're like, did you kind of let go of the reins a little bit? But as soon as push comes to shove, they say, you know what, we are the bigger kid, and we're gonna shove you down as many times as much as we want. But Donkey, again, this is the player that has been causing so many issues, and will he be able to find that kill? Crasher does happen to get him as well, and now you are sitting down into a 4v4. Donkey is making the plays once again.
Yeah, Broby, gonna be the first signs of life here. Isn't able to find much. It's floodgates central for the front side of OU. They have to go 1.5. They find 2 kills. It's all up to Donkey now. Is he able to find something middle of the map? Needs to go. Clutch JD living up to his name. Jaden, my friend, went huge that round.
Oh my goodness, that was a little bit of a scary challenge, but my goodness, Donkey, this guy makes the series interesting. I'm not sure I wish that the college COD scene was a little bit more, established in the sense of like, put this man in the transfer portal, put him on a top contending team and see how this guy does, because he's something special over there in Butler.
You wonder like if the CCL had a transfer portal, what that would look like?
I would love it. I would love every second of it.
Yeah, but it'd be almost like the top challengers people on each college roster would be coming together, like Phantoms and Aqua and them.
Yeah, that's true. And then maybe you'd have to put in kind of some rules like the NCAA has, like you can only transfer once essentially. And I mean, depending on how far, people are in their degree, teams will kind of break up. But yeah, like you said, they will just maybe poach off. But that'll just create some absolute monsters, like, the Alabamas, the Clemsons, the Ohio States. I mean, that's going to be something that you would be looking
That's at. Fisher. That's Fisher College, bro.
Yeah, that's now. Hazzy trying to work something here. Hazzy with the beamer on him. They are capping or defending? Are they defending? Yeah, they're defending. I am tripping. I may have took a gummy before this, but ladies and gentlemen, we're still on the captain himself. 10-8, trying to work something. And again, this is another map that feeds into OU playstyle. We've talked about time and time again how they looked really calm, cool, and composed on a red card. But Born Blood nature is to get right in your face, get scrappy with it. And on Protocol, you can do just that.
And Duffy's 5-8. Again, I don't know how this player has so many little amount of engagements. I don't know if it's just maybe his play style, that's the role on his team, but this guy always seems like he's not getting into gunfights. He's just letting his teammates do it for him. And so maybe he is kind of that anchor, kind of that fourth man that when you're basically relying on him to find that final trade, but he hasn't even been needing to do it. And there he's sitting in top, and he's looking for a second, unfortunately. Runs out of ammo there in the aims, might be able to clean it up, and oh my goodness, this man, I mean, does this guy have vision through his school? Because he might need to get it.
I mean, hey, look, I'm not saying this. We talk about low engagements. Clutch JD going in for the body shots. The man is livid, and again, a little birthday present for you. Make it a 3. Keeping these members, everybody. Butler has to send the 300 Spartans at him, and he's still standing.
Yeah, but it's one player crasher. Yeah, only a single second left there to deal with. Yeah, and everybody stacked around it would have gotten the trades and the nades on top of it all. But, I mean, Butler, they look pretty solid on the defense. They weren't giving up anything for free, and it came down to that 1v2. But on the attack, simply, it was the submachine guns, Clutch and Broby, consistently putting the pressure on it. Not to mention, Azzy as well was just getting up close in their face towards that top part of the building, and I mean, he was taking over.
He was indeed. He was indeed. Because now, OU. The Brim's going to be coming out here. Clean sweep janitors. Now, it is weird to see Duffy at that, though. 7 and 10. Like, he doesn't have as many kills, but he has the same amount of deaths as everybody on the team. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, he could just be that objective player, but on the other side, you have Mad Dog, who unfortunately gets sat down because instead of being a Mad Dog, he was a bad dog, and sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and Hazzy, he comes in 14 and 10, looking for another one, but the pressure is dealt with. I love this out of Butler, and now you have 3 players stacked up over towards A to take control of the middle, and now the space that Ohio has to find, a little bit slim, so you're looking for one of your subs to find an opening.
Yeah, and that's huge. Broby does just that. That's another thing about protocol control we've seen a lot on a lot of these teams, Graph, is when your subs are stretching thin, when you're Donkey able to win a nice one, but when your subs are stretching thin and everybody falls around them, it's the play that they need to make. And again, Broby, he is the crutch for this team when it's been all Clutch JD tonight, but again, Broby, when it matters most, he's able to come up huge.
He absolutely is, and Donkey is just kind of sitting there, 7 and 17, having himself a map, but he kind of lets the A point get captured all willy-nilly, and I think he's just kind of trying to be annoying to some of these players, and I even think he might be going in for some assassinations at some point, or potentially a streak, but you give up a lot of the control to the other side. Mad Dog in a great position to maybe find a kill here, but just looking across the map, it is completely spread. It is players in each other's spawns from both sides.
Yeah, and it is, again, Clutch JD that is having the most success in it, I will say. It is, the man is playing Jungle Gym, find the rat, as he almost snaps onto that player. Duffy now on the front side here. Gonna try and find something. Thinking about going up the ladder. Isn't able to win that gunfight. As now, if you're Butler, you're collapsing through the middle of the map. You find a nice 2 dead. Number 5 is top trip. Well, he's sitting top trips-ish. But it's Mad Dog, the sub. And hey, these dogs may be coming to life here.
They absolutely might be. And Courtney, if you're Butler right now, your teamwork, I don't think is that bad. I think there's maybe a little bit of times, but it's simply just kind of one player just isn't able to keep up in the slay department. You know, we don't like to harp on it all that often, but this team, I mean, they could be one player away from being, you know, a top contending here in the Midwest Metro. Is CMC. This guy has turned up a notch. He did not have great map 1, had a solid map 2, and already he's doing work on the map 3.
So is Donkey. I mean, 23 and 8. The man is impeccable right now, and I feel like exactly what you said. Wholeheartedly agree. Is they've shown signs of life with getting 4 down. They've shown signs of life of living in your spawn and causing it chaos. There's just at times that trade isn't able to come in. That over chow maybe. As now Clutch JD trying to find something here. But I agree with you. Butler is just one little notch away from, you know, really mixing up the middle of this Midwest Metro. Yeah,
they absolutely are. And Crasher coming in with a big kill. Unfortunately, he's going to get shot. It's a 2v7. And it's Mad Dog and Donkey, or excuse me, Donkey and CMC. Oh, actually, it's OU. They're in the 1v7. My eyes deceived me. And my goodness, again, I said Butler solid on the defense, and they continue to do it once again.
Late game heroics seems to be a story for these guys, and me and you both know late game heroics is very hard to battle from, but it's very fun to watch.
Oh, it absolutely is. That's kind of one of the bigger things, right? Where you want to see somebody have these clutch moments, but you also don't want to be getting into those situations so much where you are relying on them.
Well, we'll see how they do. Maybe they got some fire under their belly. Control is always that game mode as well. I know I talk about S&D and how a lot of the times it can go back and forth, but Control is definitely that toss-up where you're like, even if it's 2-0, it is just one defensive round away from just like, hey, let's get turned up here.
Being turned is going to be critical, especially on a map like Protocol. And I know at some point this map should get thrown out of the rotations. I know they were testing 2 of the new ones that were, what, roughly 2 weeks old. I can't remember the names, but I hope one of them is viable for at least the Control or at least the hard point, because, or even the Search and Destroy. I want to see Vault, Search and Destroy gone. It takes no skill on that map, because every single team just runs right on into that A-bomb site, into the Vault, they get the plant, and it's almost uncontested every single time. Yeah, maybe a round or 2 where you try to, but other than that, it's just throw your head at that site every single time.
Yeah, and it's Bounty and Dealership are those 2 maps. I do know, I believe Dealership is really good for Hardpoint and as well as Control, so I'm excited to see that be put into the rotation because with it being a smaller map, I still think Control on it fits decently. But yeah, as Duffy able to win a huge one. That player, CMC, full sent it from top ropes trying to be Randy Orton. Unfortunately, he ended his career.
Yeah, he was saying, watch out, watch out, watch out! And oh
right?
my goodness, but Duffy, he delivered with the kill anyways. And funny enough, Duffy ended up losing a gunfight very similar to that, but my goodness, the guy starting to shred, and he almost gets a second, but CMC, 15 seconds left. This is a moment for Butler.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. 3 life lead, 12 seconds left now has been dwindled. Number 6 has made a route here. 2 dead from Donkey, the man, the leader of this team. What can he find? He finds a 3rd. As the trades come through, that should be the site cleared. If you're Butler, you do need to stack this. Close spawns on A do come in. One more chow from the side of Broby, though. He's going to make this a little bit difficult. Can they contest in time? In the nick of time it is. That's 4 dead. Has he able to get into the mix? And now number 1 and number 4 are in your face. It is going to be Flood Central, and it is just chop them down at their knees. Everybody livid if the side of Butler.
Donkey was doing everything he could to get his team on that hill. He had to pull off a massive triple, then Clutch follows up with a double, so you only have 2 players on it. One player has to hop out of the enemy spawn. It gets caught out. Just so many difficult spots. We actually get to look back. What a beautiful triple. 33 and 12, by the way. And at that point, are you kind of knowing that the series isn't going to go your way and you might be padding the stats a little bit?
No, I feel like that's just how Protocol is. I feel like Protocol is kind of just like a, hey, like that's what the person can do when they live in the opponent's spawn. And Donkey kind of did that. Well, he didn't necessarily do that, but I mean, the dude was forging a pass, so maybe some padding of the stats. I know Anthony Davis did a little bit. Maybe that's why he got traded. But OU, they do a clean sweep in tonight's matchup against Butler. Graf, anything else you would like to add on tonight's matchup?
Still, control is a question mark for Ohio University. You kind of saw it there. They clearly had a better roster, I would say, and still kind of fell short in some of those attacking rounds. Granted, very difficult. You are nitpicking, at very small situations. Butler, on the other hand, I think they have a solid roster. I think they're one roster move away from them being a solid team and consistently being, I think, in that top 8 kind of spot. I haven't been able to see Wright State University or Midway COD or Hoosier, but I think they have that potential, but 2 steal series away from some of these top teams.
Yeah. We'll see how they play it out. As again, for the side of OU, you advance to 5-2. We have a match at 10:30, so if you want to stay tuned for that, that's in about 20 minutes. Just got to get everything set production-wise. We will be playing, I believe, University of Evansville. The Aces Esports is what they call them. They are looking to find their first official map win. We'll see how that goes, Graf. As again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying here. Come into the 10:30 match in a little bit. Bye.
Changes around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that was a fast count in, and I wasn't ready at all. Hi, how you doing? 10:30 match? Well, let's get into it, Graf.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna say it's a good one. I feel like that would be a little over optimistic. I am an optimistic person. Do not get me wrong, but right now, Aces 0-18 map count. They have a win, but I think it was due to a forfeit or their bye week. I'm not sure exactly how that works. So they are still looking for their first series win. So Evansville, these guys, they need to show up here and at least give us something or something for them to have a little bit of confidence in.
Yeah, and the only reason I believe we'll see some mishaps on the side of OU is because drinking is happening. I know we are known as the party school ourselves, but again, we can't say this enough, stress it enough. It is somebody's birthday, so shots have been put down in the building. Clutch JD, keep it down the throat, bro. Don't let it come up.
Wow, that was poor choice of words. Is all I'm gonna say. You know, I'm gonna say that one. You know, you are cut off. I know. I'm not sure if you've been drinking, but my goodness, stop it. Either way, right now, Ohio, they've been kind of playing towards the middle of the map. They go towards the fountain, start to accrue a little bit of time, but Hazzy already 5-0. Everybody else looking pretty solid on the side of Ohio. They're pushing out the spawns all the way towards the back, and they have secured it. So Hazzy, he's going to go back to the point here, but a few gunfights over towards that P1 are lost. But look at number 2. You're going to be looking at Infinite Nest to come in, maybe find one, but immediately get shut down.
This is the position you want to be in if you're Hazzy. Great job out of OU to pick up the flank, just like you talked about. That's something that they did really well in Red Card, and that's going to transition into Hacienda because, again, we're seeing yet another open map. I will say this is a map that OU plays really well, and in particular because I feel like if we look back at their Hazzy's on ace spree, but if we look back at their matches against Buckeye and UC, right, this Hacienda Hardpoint was map 1 for both of those series, and they took both teams down to the wire. So again, I don't know if they're trying to expand their map pool or not, but they're revisiting a dominant map for them. Let's see what they can do on it, as they're already off to a 70-point lead.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Hazzy does get shut down after going 9-0. Gets hit in the back, but Clutch, he's there to maybe follow up, and not able to. His 3 members there from Evansville, they are ready and waiting. They're playing the rotations. Broby, the Lone Ranger, he is the Mark Wahlberg and Lone Survivor, and unfortunately, he does get shut down, but this time, the Navy SEALs, they did not go down in the helicopter. They go in, and they come in with the reinforcements. They dominate Ohio. Already about to break that 100-point lead. One player tries to slide on in through, but we haven't even really talked about the roster here from the side of Aces Esports, also known as Evansville. You have CSV 2003, Infinite Nest, Swimmer, and Turtle. Currently, Turtle 0-7.
Not the best scenario you want to be in, but they are rotating early to this. We see number 1 on the min-map. He is here first, CSV. Running a little bit of an interesting choice on an ADS on a Jackal. So, I mean, I haven't seen that yet, and at all. Oh, I saw it once during a tournament with you, Graf, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Personally, a little underrated. Even with, I remember it was a few games ago, maybe the MP5 with the red dot. I was a fan, but I know a lot of people, they just rock, of course, the typical, what is it going to be? The no scope or a certain sight, and then of course a lot of different attachments, but typically you do not see one on the Jackal.
Yeah, interestingly enough, as again another 3 dead, make it 4 for the side of OU. They're off to a 140-point lead. I want to see this happen. Again, I do cast unbiasedly, but for the sake of it, do you think Evansville, Aces Esports, will breach 10 points?
Oh man, I thought you were gonna go a different way with that question. No. I do think they will break 10. I think they eventually will break 10, but I was thinking is like, are they gonna win the series? No, I'll just say plain. They are not going to win. But again, this is something you just kind of look back on, and these teams, you know, necessarily might not have a lot of practice. They might have done a lot of roster swaps, whatever the case may be. But you are looking at them just to have any sort of small improvements, and just going up against a team like Ohio is going to teach you a lot.
Yep. 100% agree. As now, all you can do from this is kind of improve. The bottom of the barrel, there's only one way to look up. As they have breached the 10-point marker. Yes, they have gotten 11 points, everybody. But OU still clinging to this lead. They're still, I don't know, expanding it. Hazzy on the point. He doesn't even have his AR in hand. The man's 20-4. Everybody's following suit. Clutch JD, 15-5. Duffy now having a succeeding KD stat line at a 13-3. And Broby, to sum it up, the secret sub player, 17-6. Graph, everybody's slaying, everybody's rotating. OU moving and grooving.
One thing I can say about OU, what they've been doing well, they haven't played sloppy. That's kind of the difference maker, right? You see a lot of these teams, they know they're going to outslam, they pull out a pistol, they have fun with it, they just start to basically run rampant, but their setups, they have been tight, they've been working on it. Maybe this is a team that you can do that against. And finally, it's going to be Clutch JD, going to have maybe one more player or two to deal with. And yeah, he is well aware of everybody that's coming on in and pushing, and finally, he does go down, and Evansville do happen to get a break momentarily, but not before Broby comes in, takes down a double. The rest of the teammates clean up the work, and Hazzy 24-5.
Exceptional. The man is almost at a 5 KD. That's what you love to see. As now, player after player is getting cut down from their knees from the side of Evansville. They trickle on in. They're spawning deep well. They're going to decide to hit this late. I don't know what Infinity Nest is doing, but if you're Turtle, you're the lone survivor here. Well, that man turtled up into the ground as he did in his shell. Oh, okay. So somebody must have not set it to 2. Oh, it's 250? Okay. All right. Well, Graph. And that went by super quick.
I would almost say welcome to the 200-point club, but I feel like they have been there before.
Yeah.
I do not mean to be a downer, but it simply feels like the side of Ohio State or Ohio University is playing a little bit of pubs at this moment, and 3-22, 4-21, 8-21, not the stat lines that you need. Swimmer sitting at a 0.5, which is the best overall KD and damage dealt, but you have one player not even breaking 1K.
Sheesh. A bit tight, as I think that was like a 4-minute, 5-minute hardpoint map right there. But ladies and gentlemen, as you're seeing our beautiful faces for the first time, we're going to shift it on over to the maps and modes slide. The series tonight is looking Hossie, and then double Proto. But like you said, I don't believe this is going to breach a map 4. So we're going to go ahead and get on into Skyline S&D. How you feeling about it?
Skyline Search is a map that has adapted over kind of course of the past few months. You've seen a lot of teams try to go towards the kitchen. A lot of success has been dealt with over-the-top nades. I've seen some really beautiful dimes and switching up the setups with a map that's only 3 lanes. It's kind of one-dimensional. Yes, you have that second level, but overall, when you are on the defense, you have one player holding that outer lane over towards kitchen. If you want your submachine guns, you really want them right behind that counter. And then you can have that kind of other AR either lurking over top or towards the middle just to catch anybody out. And then once you don't see anybody, you wrap it back. You watch the hop-ups from the low side of the zip line. And it's really, there's not a whole lot to it in Skyline. It's just about finding those bloods.
100% agree. 100% agree. This is and that's the thing about BO6. I feel like each S&D map has something to give, especially like I know First Bloods is a huge thing in the search and destroy game mode, but S&D is the king of First Bloods. You know, that's going to spark things off. It's going to get you in the numbers game. When you look at other maps like Hacienda, that's going to be more like trading, post-plant situations, protocol. That's kind of similar to Bangouts, but I feel like Hacienda is the king of the First Blood battle as they are flooding this kitchen site. Hazzy ran right by Infinity Nest. He's not able to, he didn't even get him. The trade isn't even there. Finally, after bringing 2 of them down, CSV able to find a kill. So 3v2.
A little bit of a different dimensionally looking map, but Skyline plays a ton like Rio. It just sometimes play for the trades, and then once you have the numbers, I think this map is a little bit easier to give up lives than Rio, because Rio you can find so many kind of different angles and take so many different rounds. But Skyline, it's very obtuse in some of the plays that you can make. In Ohio, they once again played the trades. They got the first bloods. They got the round win.
And you love to see it, especially like early on in this S&D. I know it's only been round 1 so far, but we talked about how when you play a team that's known to be kind of the bottom, no shame to Evansville, and I don't want to throw shade at them, but stats don't lie. And for OU to kind of stay calm in that 3v2 situation, not get too egregious, they're able to keep that. And again, trades is all you need to do. So good job out of OU for playing slow. But CSV seems to be the star right here for Evansville. He seems to be the one that was popping off in hardpoint at times, and now S&D, he already has 2 kills for them.
You can tell with that reticle, he can see things clear that other people can't. Infinite Nest just playing a game of billiards, and guess what? He does not care. He's just ready and waiting, and then, he actually will see a player.
Does he not
At least he should. Yeah, he should. Clutch JD, and oh my goodness, he doesn't see Clutch, and Clutch is going to find a free kill. Talk about eyes being checked. Infinite Nest. Well, excuse me. He actually just finds one and almost gets another, but, ooh.
I'm not gonna lie. Yep. That's how speechless I am.
Man, not many words that can be said about kind of that situation, because he would have saved his teammate and actually got it into manageable numbers. And if he had his player hit the zip line as soon as he found that first kill, that could have been a tad bit spicy. Again, you live and you learn, or you get your eyes checked, one or the other.
Yeah, and Duffy knows a thing or two about that. I was about to say we saw Duffy last series kind of have some like 10-20 vision. That right there was kind of a 5 and 20. But look at this. OU sticking to their same route they did on offense, which is weird for defense. Everybody's hitting the secret route. Hello, Swimmer able to find a 2-piece.
And right now, you just kind of had the numbers in. Swimmer not able to come away with that kill. And now it puts it into a 1v2 and Infinite Nest in this clutch situation. And will he get caught? And yes, he does. Broby with a beautiful nade. Clutch JD, currently 6-0. He's looking for the cruise. It was the first blood to Evansville, and they actually found some good initial kills. But they didn't find the first blood, excuse me. Gave all that information, and they had 2 guns up, and they still couldn't take care of the members.
This is a tough pill to swallow. I feel like if this is how the season has gone for them, it's just been kind of like beat down after beat down, and then you have some signs of life. Maybe S&D is your go-to because, again, that's more of a toss-up game mode, different every round. And then once you find that first blood, you're like, oh yeah, it's almost like they're too excited. They're like, oh, let's do it. We're up in the lives. And then they're like, dang it, we lost the lives.
And there's just simply nothing you could do at this moment. Another first blood going their way. CSV still making plays, though. Yeah. I love this guy. He finds those routes, and he finds those openings. Unfortunately, the rest of his teammates just can't simply win any gunfights.
It's just been hard for him. That shining star, or he's trying to shine, as unfortunately just one too many players to deal with. Broby, AR in hand. Takes down that last player. And OU off to a 4-0 lead. I mean, other than that, it's hard because I feel like, is it OU being so good, or maybe just mishaps happening on the side of Evansville? Is what I'm trying to decide with here, Graf.
I think it's just mishaps, and it comes down to gun skill. You just look at how Ohio, they have no respect. Yeah, they literally just sent their 2 subs in, got all 4 kills in a matter of seconds. This isn't a matter of gameplay. It's about a matter of, honestly, gun skill at this moment. We typically don't see that too often, but right now it is showing.
It is showing bad. It is showing bad. But again, there's been some signs of life. CSV has kind of matched the pace with some of these players. Clutch JD almost having that Hellstorm. Has his RCXD. Let's see if he uses it here. I'm going to be expecting a 4-man hit towards... Oh, well, I was going to say Kitchen. They're going to go top cat and look at the scenery Beautiful. Maybe over Drake's Manson. Kendrick's going to have something to say. 2 dead already. OU. Flooding the site.
One player's trying to find a route, and now that leaves, yep, CSV in the 1v4. Backtracks it, realizes he goes all the way across the map. It's not really going to matter, and already gets spotted out. He's stuck down low. Here comes the streak, and he's just going to sit in the vents, just waiting for it to land. 30 seconds left. This is a 6-0 to Ohio, and honestly, not even in dramatic fashion. It was just a pounding.
Well, what you mean? There's 20 seconds left. He can do something. Ninja.
Oh my! That was terrifying. It was like nothing was there, and then in a matter of a second, you just see 3 players with knives sliding around on the ground. You're like, oh my god, what do I do?
I was just like, it's a jump scare. It's a horror movie. Michael Myers. Oh my god. 3-minute search, Matt. OU. 6-0.
Oh my gosh.
That's what you love to see right there. As we will be moving on to a Hossi control. I mean on this map control. What you feeling, Graf? What you feeling about control?
Overall, on kind of how you play that Hacienda is essentially just being on the attacking side. You have to take control of their top office. It's as simple as that. You realistically need to have a player lurking in that area and just transitioning almost in a circular motion from that office over to Rock. Maybe catch out a player that slipped by. Maybe go down low, hop on into that B site towards Fountain. But right now, just being able to find a kill is difficult enough for the side of Evansville.
We'll see what they can do. I mean, I feel like this will be a little bit more better because control is, again, that game mode that is kind of just like a mosh posh of things. It's just like everybody's butting heads, and especially on Hossi, I feel like they have a chance at A because of how difficult it is to cap this, because the top balconies, everybody's hitting routes off spawns. It's almost like you have every which way to look. So there's still signs of life. I am gonna try and bring this team up because you always want to see some success, and if you're leaning on one person, I'm leaning on CSV. He's the one that we're gonna head to first, as he was the sub player for the Evansville University. He kicks it off with the first kill, isn't able to find the second. OU looking to take map dominance.
The one player I'm looking at on the side of Evansville to really step it up is Turtle. He needs to get out of his shell and start getting active. I feel like there's moments where he's just kind of sitting back and still not even able to win a gunfight on a heady, but there does happen to take down one, and Dumpy gets active, already takes down 2. That is 3 members, and already you are putting the pressure onto the side of Evansville as Dumpy finds 4. This is what you want to see. He's doing it for the X. He's doing it for the gram as Hazzy sees 3 players in front of him. Unfortunately, too many to deal with, but Clutchy, yep, going to be able to follow it up for free. Finds 1, finds a second. It's almost too easy for the side of Ohio.
Broby, living in the spawn. He's just posting up in a little corner, cheeky. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to find much. Everybody from Evansville off spawn has a hike to kind of take as number 8 trailing behind everybody. Has he able to find one, causing the chaos, making people turn some heads, and he's twisting them himself. It's now 11 seconds left. Life lead is basically 11, I believe, if my math is correct. Well, might as well make it 12. OU. Wash your hands. That's round.
I'm really trying to say something a little bit positive. Just simply Evansville, they haven't found any sort of success. Yeah, CSV, he's kind of been the shining light. And honestly, you're better off just kind of waiting on a 4-man stack for one player to peek, and you just have all 4 just ironed down at one angle, and slowly but surely just try to retake the map, throw some utilities. I see a lot of tacticals on their belt. They haven't thrown any nades or realistically any concussions, and that's kind of the one thing that's going to get you to that higher echelon of gameplay, is getting those tacticals and just really be annoying to the other side.
Yeah, maybe like do a little stun check and kind of slide out. It's all those little things that add up, because I mean, I feel like stun is the most useful thing in a gunfight. It is. It can change so many things. We've seen so many 1v2s happen in Surge because of them. So I like that you noted that, because that's another thing that we talk about in S&D, how a lot of people don't use it or maybe use it too early. Now it's the lack of usage that we're kind of hinting on.
Yeah, lack of it, and Broby, he's finding a few kills. They already captured the most difficult site in the game, and now they've already transitioned over to the B site. Pistols are out, the Strider, yeah, everybody's just pulling out the pistols, and they feel that confident that they are going to win this. Really not needing their primaries, and oh, he's going to actually look for this player, and yeah, too easy, checks the corner, Hazzy's on 5. Unfortunately, it will be Turtle there to shut him down, and I think they might just be playing for kills at this moment.
I mean, you could do that, but that is going to be a 3-man stack. And again, with how far Evansville is spawning out, it is a hike to get there. 2 ticks done already. Flood is going to come from this top balcony, top plat area. Let's see how well. 2 kills for the side of Evansville. Responded with Duffy. The man goes huge. Broby just delaying these people at bay. And the AR himself on the little fence. He's picking off those tomatoes that are a little bit more ripe. 2-0 OU.
I don't know. Some ripe tomato sound kind of delicious at this moment. I am hungry. I haven't eaten since I got back from the gym, so I'm feeling a little hungry. So don't even mention food to me right now. But so far, right now, Evansville, they are on the struggle bus, to say the least. The bus is missing 2 wheels. They are out of gas, and unfortunately, they lost the driver. So they are looking for any sort of hope to get themselves back into this series.
And I was going to say we're going to stick with Duff because he was on a 7 spree. Unfortunately, he falls there. Hazzy with the pistol out, going to run at your face. At range, almost found that kill, but now Broby just pre-firing an angle. Broby. Okay. Well, I was going to say that should not have won, but now Duffy's in your face with a pistol as well. It looks like the Strider can do it all as well.
It's got a little bit of range to it, and this one, I don't mind that he's got the reflex on. I kind of like the look of it. A little bit sleek, but also a tad bit bulky at times, and just kind of helps you take some shots from range better than others. And they're even up close. Duffy 16-3, looking for a few more kills. It's 40 seconds left on the game clock. The pistols are out, and Swimmer will eventually find that kill, but look at 3 pistols pop up in the feed. You are really in dire straits.
Dire straits. Dire straits cannot, shape up to what situation they are in. But Evansville with some signs of life here. I think they aren't whipping out their pistols just yet. But Clutch AD. Clutch AD? Oh, Clutch AD. How many times can I say Clutch AD? Let's see. Happy birthday, Clutch AD.
And he's feeling himself, everybody. He's just having a good time for 23 seconds. And honestly, I love what Evansville did there. CSV, he slid in and he went under the gun, under the line of sight from one of the players. I think it was Duffy or Hazzy, and he ends up finding the kill. But once all 4 of them stuck together, they're finding a tad bit of success, a little bit of map control. But yeah, look at one player, CSV. I think he just kind of knows this one is over. It's done. It's dusted. Turtle going to be the last member. He will drop, and that will be the series. That will be the map.
OU win it 3-0. Pretty dominant is an understatement,
GG's,
but
GG's.
they come out and do what they do best. And ultimately, I'm just more excited to see how long this map took. Sub 3 minutes.
Oh my goodness. I forget that they put the game time, so I'm kind of glad. Oh, so a little bit under 5, but that has to be maybe the quickest time. I want to get I want to get this one on record. How fast was this series? Because I kind of want to know. I'm curious. What is the fastest series we've had in the College COD League? And honestly, this one is at least, it's got to be in the top 3, at minimum top 5. But either way, you go into the map 1, it's Hacienda, it's 250 to 16. You go into the Skyline, it's a 6-0 for OU. Then you go into the Hacienda Control, it's a 3-0. Really, there isn't much to say about this series.
No, I mean, like when you look at the matchup, it's kind of like, oh, you'd expect it to go this way, but I mean, it's just again, it comes to the question. OU, they play really well. They play. This is a roster that can compete with the best of them. I feel like their struggle is going to come to when they play those more top tier teams, like a Buckeye, like a UC, like Northwood Blue. I think it's Arson is the number one seed, if I'm saying it correctly, for this Midwest Metro. So that's going to be their struggle. And again, if you're the side of Evansville, you have a long hill to climb. I think just looking to get that first map win under your belt is going to be the goal.
Absolutely. Getting that first win is a little bit far. It still feels like at points. I mean, you just got to be able to find the kills, make a roster change, whatever the case is, get a coach, go through the VOD, see what you did wrong. But either way, what a good series for the side and a good night overall for Ohio. They got to be feeling confident. They end up finishing, I think, at 6-2 for the night, if I'm not mistaken, with a 16-6 overall map count. So that might even move them up to that 5th or potentially 4th spot. We'll kind of see how the rest of the roster or the rest of the standings kind of shakes out. But Corpse, you got any final things to say?
I got nothing. I'm pretty happy with how my boys played. Again, just ladies and gentlemen, tradition will be started here. OU.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got it. I got it.
There we go. All right, we'll end it on that note, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying tuned for the 10:30 match. Be here next Monday. I heard it's media day, so we'll be seeing some fun pictures. But other than that, go like this channel, go follow OU COD, and go follow Graf over here there on his channel and his Twitter. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, I was just saying click. I was doing a little motion.
click. Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. We appreciate it, and good night.
But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living, but we could